This video is for the remote learners for fall 2020 in English 9, Honors English, the Lab 9. So here's the deal with the Lord of the Flies. The only thing you need to be doing right now is reading through the story. So in that big folder that I put there that has a lot of different things, there's a lot of rubrics, there's a lot of assignments. The big thing I want you to do is start out by reading through the book. So start with chapter 1. Go to chapter 2. I'm going to just real quick on my end pull it up and make sure that I'm covering everything in the folder. So they're all a bunch of assignments. So if you did your survival quiz, don't worry about that. Close readings, don't worry about that. So what you're going to do is you're going to watch the introductory videos and the very brief introduction to World War II. Hold that in your brain. Okay. Then you are going to start to actually read the text. So it says Lord of the Flies full text. If that link doesn't work, just do a Google search for Lord of the Flies full text. The audiobook is available online as well. So as you do that, you're going to go through, you're going to read. Once you get to the end of chapter 9, you're going to pause, and you are going to go up to where it says Lord of the Flies close readings. You're going to read that. I will add a discussion board for that if I don't already have one. Yeah, I don't have one. So I will add that for you to discuss amongst yourselves. After that, for the videos, I want to say, I think there's a place to comment on the videos. So comment on those if you have any thoughts or things that you want to talk about. Let me know, and I can also add a discussion board for those as we go. Okay, once you've read on the close readings and sent me your answers for those, okay, that one's a bit of an on-your-own activity. Then you are going to finish reading the novel. Once you've finished the novel, you are going to work on one of 3 things. Okay? The first, you have 3 options. You only have to do 2 of the essays. Okay? You have to do, well, 2 if you're in honors, 1 for everybody else. Honors, you have to do the Lord of the Flies argumentative essay, and you have to pick one of the other assignments. Everybody, you need to choose between making a Lord of the Flies poster or some sort of representation of what the island looks like for me. Writing the narrative essay, which is basically writing your own short story about survival. How would you end Lord of the Flies if you were writing the book? That kind of thing. How would it have looked if it had been a bunch of girls on the island? It's a time to be creative. Or you can choose to write the argumentative essay. So everybody else pick 3. Honors, you pick 2 because you have to do the argument. The other thing that you're going to do with this is there is a discussion board for the Lord of the Flies video playlist. So you are going to be looking at the playlist as we're going. So some clarification and some information on the playlist here. One thing to note is that the first video is the trailer. So just watch the trailer and be like, okay, this is kind of what I'm thinking. This is how I think this book is going to go. Sound of the conch shell is just sounds of conch shells. Recess All Grow Down is what I imagine the little ones are like. Some of this is not going to make sense to you, but I promise I won't give too much away. Then the other clip that is not related to anything directly is the Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End scene. And that basically the boys are covered with brine. And so I wanted to show what brine was. And so when the Flying Dutchman pops out of the water and all the dudes are pulling their little sea creatures off their arms, they're kind of slimy. That's what brine is, only our boys have crusty, salty stuff on them. Everything else on there is a spoiler, so don't go too far into that until you finish the book. Just don't touch the playlist until you finish the book, except for those first 4 videos. Avoid everything else. At the bottom, there are 3 videos on historical context and additional information that you don't have to watch, but if you would like to, feel free. There's some interesting stuff in there. I tried to distill it all as best I could in my video. And then there are 4 videos about just criticism of Lord of the Flies and just like why you should read Lord of the Flies, what Lord of the Flies is. And so on that assignment where it talks about the playlist, those are the 4 that I'm mainly focusing on. as you are going through, I would like you, I mean, it's pretty obvious now why I picked the other videos, but I would like you to tell me, do you think it's effective at getting that point across? Do you wish I just put a picture on the board? Was it helpful to know exactly what that would look like on a person? How did that work out? So you can write a response for the other videos, but the ones I'm really after are the 4 criticism videos in the middle there. So that's John Green. It's a John Green video, a Modern Classics Overly Sarcastic Productions video, a TED Talk, and a Kyle Marshall book versus movie responding to the John Green video. So as you are watching those, just think what does that tell you about the book that you might not have picked out about, what you might not have picked out? Did it help? Did it just distract you and make you want to just watch a bunch of videos about Lord of the Flies? That's kind of what I'm after. If you think that there's a better video to describe brine, and you know what that is, then you could put that in there as well. Did that make sense? If that doesn't make sense, leave me a comment on the Schoology page and let me know, and I will do my best to clarify that. So, like I said, there's only really 4 videos that you need to respond to. Other ones you may respond to if you so choose. And so that hopefully should clarify some of that. It's a big folder because there's a lot of stuff, and some of it is the thing that you can choose. So I do want you to do that. Also, oh yes, the Lord of the Flies symbolism essay. Okay, when I say essay, and everyone does need to do this one too, that's not really an essay, it's more of a list. So you're going to just write a list in complete sentences telling me what are the big symbols in Lord of the Flies. Stay tuned for another video on key terms and other important information to know how to do that essay. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Cav out.